So man, I'm about to do some painting. I was in here patching holes, and all of a sudden I was just reminded of this painter that I know that I met when I was young, and we're still friends today. Then I thought about Hebrews 13:2, like always entertain strangers because many have unknowingly spoken to angels or whatever. Hopefully this all makes sense in the end. But when I was like 16, 17, where I'm from in Denison, there's this viaduct, this little bridge, and one time I saw this dude. He's definitely a crackhead. He had this metal pole, and like he was just getting it. I was like, look at this crackhead. And I don't know. I just kind of laughed and made fun of him. I think I might have yelled something at him, but whatever. I fast forward a couple years later, I'm sitting in a holding cell, and there's this guy that was walking down the viaduct with the metal pole, and he's bouncing off the walls, and it's like, man, this dude is crazy, but I'm kind of laughing at him. We just kind of sat there and talked for a minute, but whatever. Then like another year or two after that, I'm starting this intensive drug court probation stuff. I don't know what they call it now, because this was like 2006 or something, or '05. And that same dude I saw walking down the street over the bridge, he was like starting at the same time as me. And, he wasn't very happy, neither was I. So we got to talking, and I was like, man, this guy's pretty cool for a crackhead. I don't know. I just kind of befriended him or whatever. And when we started that stuff kind of together, you could get in trouble and like be sanctioned to jail. And we both got sanctioned to jail like at the same time, I think, for lying by omission. That's a whole nother story. But I remember being in that holding cell with him again, and I'm complaining, he's complaining. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. I liked him a lot. He was my buddy, but I also just kind of made fun of him in my head. And I remember we had to go to these classes on Monday morning or Monday evenings, and he'd always be like, man, Chuck, can I borrow like $100? I swear I'll pay you back next week when I get paid, la-di-da-di. And I always gave it to him because like I was bartending, I had money. But I never expected it back because I just felt like he was just going to go smoke crack and go to prison. But he always paid me back. It was crazy. Then fast forward like another year later, I get sent to this correctional facility. And when I came back, it'd been like almost a year, like 11 months or something. And I had to go, to court and go to probation, all this stuff. And I was like, man, where's that old crackhead so-and-so? And they're like, dude, wait till you see him. And like, yeah, I remember seeing him. He gained like 50 pounds. He was calm. He didn't talk like this anymore. And he's just like, how you doing, Chuck? And like, man, at that time I had a baby on the way. Like life was good, but I was still pretty stressed out and nervous. And he's like, man, if you need anything, just let me know. And that's something he's continued to say to me. But, we got through all that stuff. He would pick me up. We'd go out to McDonald's and we'd eat, and he'd just give me little words of wisdom. But, I was young. I wasn't hearing it all. But we were just becoming really good friends. Then you fast forward like 15 years later, and in those 15 years, like I'd see him at Walmart with my kids, always a big old smile, like, what's up? And he was a painter. He had his own painting business. And then you fast forward to like 2020-ish, I guess. I go to this place. Been there like 2 hours. I'm already hating it. Like I'm just fiending for some whiskey or something. And all of a sudden, here comes that painter. And they were just talking about it. I was like, is it this painter? And he's like, Chuck, what's up? Like, what do you need? Here, I got some work down here at the church. Like, put some money in your pocket. And man, the last 4 or 5 years, this guy's helped me so much. I don't think he smoked crack in 22, 23 years or something. And I don't know, when I was just thinking about it today and thinking of Hebrews 13:2, I was like, I think sometimes God puts angels in certain people. Like maybe their spirit is just kind of angel. I don't know what an angel really is. But when I look back on it all, Hebrews 13:2 and then 13:3, like, always, I don't know, something about those in prison that are mistreated, be kind to them because they are suffering too. And, like I'm alcoholic, he was a crackhead. We kind of suffered from the same thing. We were truly in prison together in a holding cell, but also like this other prison of addiction and all that. And then I go back to Hebrews 13:1, like let brotherly love continue always. When I think about our relationship, there's been times I've broke his heart, like, but no matter what, he's never turned his back on me. And one time he said some stuff to me like, Chuck, man, I was complaining, I was hungover. He's like, you get all your little problems, and you put them in your hand, you hold them up to your head, and your problem's right there, it's in your head, it's all your brain, and like the time he told me that, I was just hungover, like fiending for another drink. Like, man, I wish he'd shut up. But I thought about it later that night, and I think about it nowadays whenever, like, I'm just kind of getting angry, complaining about the world. Like, man, I don't really have problems. That's all in here, just let God have my brain. He can take care of all this stuff. And so I don't know. I think I've already spun off track here. But, yeah, I was thinking of my painter friend filling in these holes, and, like, that's what he's kind of done for me. I think he's an angel, man. Like, he's helped me with holes in my life. Always been there, always supported me. And, you know, I just think about that day back when I was 16. He was just some crackhead walking on a bridge and I was laughing at him. And it just brought me back to Hebrews 13 too. Always talk to strangers. Like, because man, it seems like the lowest of the lowest people I've ever met in my life turned out to be like these great, big, high people in my life, you know? And I don't know where I was going, but I like how God will connect dots like that. It doesn't make sense on this, but to me it made sense. And I don't know, I'm just saying, this painter friend of mine, he's an angel, bro. But yeah, pretty much, you know, always talk to everybody because you never know who's gonna be an angel in your life. Like, I had no idea that some crackhead walking down a bridge when I was 16 was gonna be like there to pull me out of darkness so many times. Like, life is just beautiful, man. All right, that's about it. Whatever.